everyone, today I've got a training update for you and also a couple of packages to open which I'm pretty excited about. So without further ado, let's get opening some boxes. So as you can see, these are the new S-Lab Ultra shoes. I will be putting a review on the channel in the coming weeks once I've got a chance to test these out. I did a review of the predecessor of them. I've put a link to it up there, so feel free to click on that if you want to see a review of the S-Lab Ultra, S-Lab Sense Ultra. And as I said, subscribe to the channel to make sure that you don't miss the review of these shoes in the coming weeks. Look quite cool, bit different from the previous models. Can't wait to try them out. So this is a box from Mountain Fuel. If you saw some of my videos when I was cycling the Paris-Roubaix course, there's a link to that video up there, or also the Tour of Flanders route that I did the following day. During those days I was trying out Mountain Fuel and was really impressed by the products, really like the flavour, and also the recovery seemed to work really well. So off the back of that I've become a brand ambassador for Mountain Fuel. So today I've got some various things from them. T-shirt and water bottle. And then the nighttime fuel, which you take the day before, in the evening before racing or hard training sessions. The breakfast meal as well, the morning fuel, which I really like the fact that you've got stuff for before training, during, and then after. The energy drink for during, which is the blackcurrant flavour. I know I've got a few flavours of this. I tried the blackcurrant one, thought it tasted really good. So that's for my during. And then lots of sachets of the ultimate recovery fuel, which is really good. They do these small sachets because it's easy for me to take with me and then mix up after a training session in the shaker. So yeah, in terms of training wise, I've been building up the weeks quite steadily in terms of time training. A few weeks ago I was doing 12-13 hours a week. The last 3 weeks I did around 16-17 hours. I then had a recovery week where I did around 10 hours, and now the coming weeks I'll be looking to get around 18 to 20 hours training in, mixing up the swimming, the cycling and the running. The running wise, I've got my first 100k in a 4 weeks time, so looking at another couple of hard weekends and then tapering down for 2 weeks. The final race list for the year is now confirmed, so in April I'm doing the Kielder 100 km Ultra, and then in May I'm doing the Ultra Tour of Snowdon, I believe it's called. Let me double check that, I'll write it down correctly. And they have a 50 mile and a 100 mile course. I'm doing the 50 mile course, and that's going to be a main training session, training race essentially, for then the Lavaredo Ultra Trail in June. July I've got off from racing, and that will be very much adapting from doing the ultra marathons into triathlon mode, as I then have the Swedman Extreme Triathlon in early August, and then later in August I've got into Kima, the skyrunning event, Trofeo Kima, which is a great race. I've done it once before. It's one of the most extreme races out there, so it's in the same category as things like the Glencoe Skyline and also the Tromso Sky Race, two races which I've done Tromso on 3 occasions and Glencoe last year, so Kima's up there with those. And then potentially, depending on how the season goes, I may look to try and do a 100 miler in September, October time, but that's really dependent on how the Kielder Ultra goes, and then also obviously the 2 other races looking around the 50 miles, then 120 kilometers for Lavaredo. If those go well, that'd be great. Kielder will be an interesting race for me because it will show whether I've had enough run hours, and that may mean I adapt my training strategy to get more running and drop a swim and or run session a week if I need to, because at present I'm mixing up fairly evenly between cycling and running, and then a bit less time spent on swimming. So it's whether I need to reduce the cycling time down and increase the run time. So Kielder will let me know that. Hence buying all the stuff from Mountain Fuel to help me recover properly. As I say, the training load is increasing each week and need to make sure that I'm getting proper rest and recovery. So this is a key part of that. If you've enjoyed this video, please make sure you subscribe to the channel. As I mentioned, I will be doing a review of my new shoes in the coming weeks, and so if you don't want to miss that, make sure you do subscribe. I do appreciate all the comments and support on the channel, so please do feel free to drop a comment down below. I'll also put a link to these, and there's also a link to Mountain Fuel as well in the description to the video. See you next time.